Welcome back. It's still sports this morning on Channels Television. Remember, you can be part of the program. Yes, you know you can always be part of the show. We love it when you're involved. Just stop by. Our feedback mechanisms have not changed. On Twitter, we're Channels_sports. And on Facebook, we're Channels-sports. You can also send us an email to sportsthismorning@channelstv.com. You watch highlights of Team Nigeria getting ready for the All-Africa Games, the volleyball team. The men actually getting ready. They're training at the Sports Hall of the National Stadium in Lagos. But right now, we'll not be talking about men's volleyball. It's ladies first. So we're talking about women's volleyball in Nigeria. We have a member of the team and the coach of the female volleyball team, Verere Oyarone. He's a player. She will be talking to us this morning on the show. And then Coach Samuel Ajayi. It's all about volleyball and how they're getting ready to impress at the All-Africa Games. It's ladies first, so Cecilia, I'll let you say welcome to the
Okay, I'll have a handshake first. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Yeah.
Good to have you around, Verere. And then
you.
Coach Samuel Ajayi. Coachy, good to have you on the show. You know, there's a lot of talks now in Nigeria that if it's a female team, it must be a female coach. But they also argue that the male guys, the male coaches actually handle the female teams properly. So good to have you guys around. Volleyball gets our attention. Verere, you are based in the UK.
Yes, I am.
You play professional volleyball.
Yes, I do. I play Super 8.
Super 8, that's the highest level of volleyball.
That's the highest
in
level, yeah.
So what's your take on volleyball in Nigeria?
It's fantastic. Like, honestly, before I came to Nigeria, I didn't know what to expect. I was called by one of the coaches, and he told me that, there was the All-African Games coming up, and they were preparing to go. And if they qualified, he would want me to play. He's like, what position do you play? I said, a middle blocker. And then he was like, okay, come down. I went online, I tried to Google. There was no information about Nigerian volleyball. I was like, okay. So I kept on searching online, and eventually I found one of the team captain lady. She used to play international volleyball, so at least I found some profile on her. So I said, if she's the captain of the team and she's that good, then potentially the team would be fantastic. And since I've come, it's been amazing. There's great talent in this country, honestly.
So that's your team coming out to get ready for training?
Yes, yes.
What's special about you guys?
I think it's the togetherness. It's the oneness. I think it's the Nigerian factor. It's what makes us Nigerian. We're fantastic in that sense. But the coach as well, it's very technical as well as tactical.
Yeah.
So individually they improve our skills, but then they teach us how we can be together, work as a team to do well. Yeah. And I think that's what would make us stand out at this competition, I think.
Hopefully you guys get to do very, very better. Now, Coach, let me ask you this question. You know, you guys are supposed to be preparing for another tournament before the All-Africa Games, talking about the Zone 3 Volleyball Championships. It's only in Accra in Ghana, starting 19th of August to 26th. How ready is the team, or is Nigeria really going for this championship?
Well, I think to the All-African Games, just to tell whatever we're putting to the players, to make sure we'll be able to test their mentality, are not in the game, or physically, they are technically, in all their various departments, just to prepare us towards the All-African Games, see how we can get better and where we need to work on.
Now, right now, do we have all the players you need for the tournament in camp and training for the trials?
Yeah, I think we have almost about 90% of the players in camp now. We only have 2 players that we are still expecting due to their examination in their various schools and their institutions, as you know. So I think by this weekend, we'll be all in camp.
Coach, talk to me about your experience in Burkina Faso. That qualification, how difficult was it?
It was something else. But I thank God at the end of the day we were able to straight through. Because when we are going, I think nobody gave the female a chance of qualifying because of Ghana. Because we all know Ghana, they are well prepared. At the place today, they are good. They are ahead of Nigeria. But we thank God when we came to Burkina Faso, we were able to help Ghana the first match we played. And I don't think we were able to run them down and we picked the ticket to all of the time.
Okay, Barry, let me ask you this question. You've been with the Nigerian team just some time now,
days. Yeah.
Some days, okay, just days. So how is it going? I mean, the teamwork, being able to stay with them, and how will you be able to measure what the volleyball is in England, of course, what you're saying here?
In all honesty, I've been embraced by the team. It just doesn't feel like I've been here for only 3 days. Straight away, like even the captain as well, I met her only like a day ago or 2 days ago, and she's been very warm towards me. Now, the level of the team, like I said, honestly, the players are talented. These are people that have trained hard, even harder than I've trained in my life. They have trained really rigorously with coaches that know what they're saying. And now we've come together, and even though we're not used to each other, we're starting to understand ourselves. We have a couple of weeks more, and I honestly believe that we will do really, really well.
Very. You are a middle blocker.
Yes, I am a middle blocker.
Explain that role.
Okay, so what I do is I'm in the middle, and I hit the quick balls in the middle, and I block the ball. So typically you have an attack from 2 or from 4, so from the wings. So I join to support the attack, the block on this side or the block on this side. But primarily I take my hit from the middle.
And you block.
And I block as well.
So, Coach, when the ball is dropping in Nigeria's house, you're giving very good. All right. Coach, let's talk about the importance of developing female volleyball in Nigeria. In 2003, you guys were champions. And then, that decline that we don't like talking about. How can we make volleyball better?
Honestly, by 2003 that we have the gold medal in all African games, I don't think we have such preparation again in Nigeria. Because with good preparation, the team will definitely gear up to win medals. But now, since then, we have not been able to achieve that level. But I believe with the coaches that we have in Nigeria, that they are trying to do their best with the players together to make sure that these games still excel this country. So the personal sacrifice that we are doing to make sure that we still keep the game at that point that it is today. And that's why we are urging the people like the federal government, people in the private sector, they should please come into the game. Come and help the game so that the game can grow. We have programs that we can run in schools.
Okay, how viable really?
Programs that we can run in school. But without this private sector or that
support.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Because when you go to school now, you see a lady on the street that you know has the height to play the game. You try to encourage her to bring her to the stadium to come and train. After 1 or 2 days, he's looking at, he doesn't see the prospect in the game. He started to drop back and said, hey, he can't continue with this because there's no more championship, no more grassroots development. That's the basic problem we're facing in this country.
Do we really have a viable league in Nigeria? Something you can say is really competitive because you talked about playing in top 8 as a top division in England. Do we have something like that here in Nigeria?
Yes, we have.
How viable is it?
That's the problem that we're facing in this country, that we say the private sector are not coming in. We can imagine in Nigeria we don't have league.
Okay.
We don't have league. And when you don't have league, how do you have youth teams to develop to be able to expose them? So this is the problem we are facing.
So how do you not bring in players? Because you don't have a league. Because usually you pick players from league, put them together for tournaments. So how do you manage to pick players?
You know, basically we have what we call open championship.
Okay.
That we play. That maybe 1 or 2 companies decide to sponsor open championship. Through there, you'll be able to look at the players that you know are good. You'll be able to call them.
You just pick them. So if I feel like I can play volleyball and you're having an open championship, I can actually come in and I get a shirt.
Janet can come as a team.
Okay, interesting.
But I think the idea of a league, because when I came, that was the most interesting part, because I met a girl at 22. She is, we call her a shoot to kill. She's a wing player. She's so talented and she passes really well. And I asked her, I said, when was the last time you played in a championship? And she was like, last year. And I was like, sorry, what? In the UK, we have 4 weeks pre-season. Okay. And once pre-season is over, you play a game every Saturday. So we travel around the country. We go to Newcastle, we go to Manchester. You travel around to play different teams until April, when the season starts to come to an end. Then depending on how many points you've gotten, you play the semi-final, the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and the big finals at the National Volleyball Center. But it's important that when they want to get a national team, they then look at the highest level. So typically Division 1 and the Super 8, and they choose players from there. Okay. And then for people that are outside, they're like, oh, there's no English volleyball. If you go online, if you go on the volleyball website, you see this information, you see what's going on. So it attracts people. Like I said, I was really reluctant about coming down because there was no information out there.
We didn't know who to reach
exactly.
And what's happening here.
I didn't even know that the volleyball had a presence. And then when I came and I saw players and I was like, whoa, this is immense volleyball. So if the talent is still at this level and we don't even have leagues, if they would just support volleyball just a little bit, Just a little bit.
Funny enough, we do have a volleyball federation in Nigeria. So if we have a volleyball federation in Nigeria, also now I'm going to throw this question to you.
Cecilia, I work for channels.
I know you follow the game very well, and I appreciate that. Now, if you have a volleyball federation, you know, just like you have Nigerian Football Federation, Basketball Federation, and these other ones, they have leagues. How come Volleyball Federation, they don't have a league? So what do they do when you have a federation? Apart from just, you can't even organize a tournament for one single day, a championship for one single day, and you don't have it. So how do you intend to go for all African games and get so many?
I think that's a very important issue she has raised. That's our next discussion on volleyball. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I think what you guys should do, all your trainings, put it on the social media. Make some noise when you get to Congo. Make so much noise.
Instagram and Snapchat and Twitter, everywhere.
Hashtag volleyball going for good.
Yes, that's the one.
We appreciate what you have done. You are doing a good job and a great job. I think
the awareness
this is the first time we'll keep bringing, talking about volleyball live like this on the.
We keep breaking new ground.
Thank you very much.
We gotta go now. So that's it. We're talking women's volleyball in Nigeria. Verere and then Coach Samuel Ajayi. They will leave us now. You notice Ayotune Balogun wasn't here. You need to take a break. So he'll be coming back. The captain of the men's volleyball team, Manuel Jato, and the coach will be joining us to talk men's volleyball in Nigeria. Stay.